the goal!
This is the halftime show with Omar Al on Pulse 95.
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice! Wonderful!
It sure is that time. It's the halftime show with Omar Al. I am your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in around the world. Thank you, AJ, Tintin, Florin, Masoud, Fatima, who's that? Mustafa as well. Sorry, my eyes, man. Amda, Hatim as well. We got international people in here as well. Munna, Little Fire, Lauren, Davis, Ish. God, I'll be here all day doing the shout-outs. But thank you very much for tuning in. And it is showtime, Hatim. It sure is. Why? Because I'm very excited about this next guest, man. I don't know how long I've known her. I don't know how long I've known her. But it's been a while. It's been a while, right? Budreya,
yeah,
welcome
at least
to
10 years.
the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You deserve, I think you deserve more. Hold on, let's do this again.
No, this is good.
Welcome to the show. There you go. We made it happen in the Budreya, you fell in love with football in 2004 while doing a postgraduate studying car design on Lamborghini?
With Lamborghini.
With
yes.
Lamborghini. Talk to me about how that all started for you and how you fell in love with a beautiful game.
Well, I was obsessed with cars growing up and wanted to find some way to be involved with cars somehow. And I'd done my bachelor's in graphic design, so looked at how I can get into design instead of racing and being dangerous and illegal on the streets. How can I do something good with this obsession?
Yeah.
And then I found out that there was such a thing as a master's in something other than business administration.
Right.
And
Is
found
that is that a regional thing? Like when people expect you to get into like business and...
Well, back in the day, I mean, that was 2004.
Yeah.
And I was, as an art student or an art major, I wasn't aware of all the different types of masters. Back then, we only had AUD and AUS around here.
Right.
So when I found out that was an option, I took off. I got a scholarship from here, went to Italy. I was, I think, the first female Emirati to be in Italy. There was only one other guy in Rome, and I remember we connected.
Okay, awesome. And how did you end up in, like, why Italy?
Well, Lamborghini.
Okay,
you go where
so it was
Lamborghini
specifically
is.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, so it was just that one year that was Lamborghini sponsored. So every year, this university that was a master's school would partner with a different car make, and they would take over the course completely. And the whole master's was around building a custom Lamborghini car. It was an older car, Lamborghini Espada, and we had to bring it back. And it was great, but... And I enjoyed Italy, to say, more than the program itself.
Well, I was going to say, how did you go 0 to 100 from Lamborghini to football?
Well, good question. I went into car design knowing I was never going to work in car design.
Okay.
Because if we're realistic, there's only a limited number of, car makes out there. So a limited number of jobs in car design. So it wasn't my aspiration really to become a car designer, but just to gain that experience and to live abroad and to just be surrounded by cars all the time.
And what's the link between the cars, AC Milan, and Shevchenko? Talk to me.
So before my university started, I was in a two language schools. I was doing morning and evening classes. And with one of the groups, we decided, let's go and check out San Siro, the stadium that's a big part of Milano.
Yeah.
And we just picked a random game to go to, which was AC Milan and Messina. We weren't there for the game, we were there for the stadium. So we get there, just to check out the vibes and the place. And we just sat there and watched the game. There were no big screens. You couldn't tell who was who. Everyone is so far away.
Yeah.
And I just saw that number 7. And I was just so drawn to his style of play.
Yeah.
And went back and I can't say I Googled because I had to go to an internet cafe for that back then.
That's what you know.
I researched,
That's what you know. She's old school. I like it. So you had to research and find out about this, and
which is ask any Italian on the street who's number 7 in AC Milan.
Yeah.
And I learned it was Shevchenko, and I just became more and more drawn to the game.
Yeah.
Because of him and because of his style and AC Milan, and it very quickly became my team. And I was there almost every single game. buying my black market tickets.
Right.
Because I had to sit in Kurva Sud. I wanted to sit with the hardcore fans. I wasn't interested in going and sitting, in the fancier side of things or just on the boring side. I wanted to be with the hardcore fans where I learned all the chants and everything. And it changed everything for me. At the time, I didn't know how much it actually changed. I thought it just made me a football fan, a hardcore AC Milan fan.
Yeah.
And when I went back to Dubai, I got different jobs in marketing, and then somehow ended up in football. That wasn't the plan, but we'll get to that later.
I want to ask you how were like the family in this? And I ask this because you break that stereotype, which I love, by the way, and you do something that you love doing, and you find yourself looking at cars, looking at Lamborghini, specifically in Italy, and then you find your love for football, and you take it back to football. And then how are they in that? Supportive, skeptical, a bit of both?
Completely supportive.
Amazing. Okay.
I'm very, very fortunate to have a mother that wants me to just pursue all my dreams and follow my heart. And she pretty much actually pushed me to go to Italy because I wasn't allowed to leave for my bachelor's after being promised to leave for my bachelor's.
Okay.
So it's almost here, now you can go and do whatever you want. I don't care if you work in it or not. I owe you this experience.
Right.
They're always incredibly supportive.
Amazing. So then you come back here.
I come back here. I work in marketing. In film festivals for a little while.
Okay.
And from there, I worked with the Dubai Sports Council.
Okay.
I started in marketing, helped start the Dubai Sports Excellence Awards, even designed the trophy for it and everything. Brought my friends over from an agency that does a lot for Barcelona.
Okay.
And brought them over, and we started the very first event and, set the standards, and it was great. And then from there, I became head of sports tourism.
Okay.
That was the very first time sports tourism existed.
And
there.
what year are we talking? Roughly?
2009.
So this was like all fresh. This was like when things went out there.
I completely forgot. I worked at Formula One first.
As you do. You know when you have a CV. You know when you have a CV and you're like, I just missed out the Formula One part. That just taking over the world. But that was not the point. Okay.
That was not the point. I was headhunted for the Formula One job when I worked at Dubai Tourism. Okay. Because I was the only Emirati with any experience, with a degree in anything to do with cars at the time, which was crazy.
Right.
And I got a great gig there, being the creative CEO's advisor for special projects and creative projects, which means I got to work on all the creative stuff I wanted, including the interiors of all the grandstands, getting the art source, working with the artists, getting the inspiration, working on the biggest volunteer program in the history of Formula One, creating that.
Does it feel good to set like the blueprint for these things when you don't have a template to follow off?
Of course, because it's a lot harder, right? Like you're like you said, I'm setting the template, I'm setting the roadmap for the ones to come after me.
I like it.
And then came Sports Council. Right. And after the Sports Council, I decided to get into football. And I just called our friend Anas up. And I said, I want out. And by the time, I already had built a name for myself in sports marketing. And the CEO wanted to see me the very next day. And I became the marketing director for the league.
Amazing. Right, I'm gonna take a quick break here because I need to cool down a little bit. We're gonna keep the music going on. But when I come back, I'm gonna ask you about vision, about what catches your eye in an athlete, and about the transition from athlete to brand. All right, don't go anywhere. Please don't. Stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
Oh, he loves the fire, then what a goal!
This is the halftime show with Omar Al on Pulse 95.
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice! Wonderful!
It sure is that time. It's the halftime show with Omar Al. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international and local. I'm spoiling you guys today, and I see you guys on the Instagram live at Omar Al, giving all the fire and the shout outs as well, which is fantastic. Budreya Faisal's in the building today, and we are talking sports. But now we're going to be diving into the vision of what she's created, which I'm so jealous, man. I wish I was part of that, because growing up, there wasn't this stuff happening. And I want you to tell me more about the vision, Budreya. What is the Ghose Concept?
Well, I'll tell you my mission for Ghose Concept, and that'll help you understand everything else I'm trying to do for it. My mission is improving the representation of Arab football.
Okay.
To do that, where I've worked before, which was the league and then the club, I also worked at Al Ahly as commercial director. I've tried to create impact, positive change everywhere I went. But there was always a barrier, because there's always a million people above you with completely different mentalities. I've made as much of a difference as I could where I was, but I want to make it on the human level. So I decided to do it on my own.
Okay.
And to do it one player at a time.
How hard is that?
Extremely hard.
Talk to me about those kind of challenges.
So when I started, Ghose Concept was definitely and still is the only one of its kind in the Arab world. But around the world, there are only 2 or 3 other agencies that focused on the athlete brand. There's so many influencer agencies. There's a completely big difference between the two.
Is there a difference between influencer and athlete branding?
Not really. In the end, it's all creating a personal brand for an influencer or creating a personal brand for an athlete. But the difference is we are experienced in the football culture.
I like that.
And that's what makes it specific. I can tell you the difference. If we're talking UAE, I can tell you the difference between the mentality of the management of Al Ain Football Club, the fans of Al Ain Football Club, compared to the management and the fans of Sharjah Football Club.
Right.
And the same for Al Dhafra. Anywhere in the UAE, I understand how they operate, what's acceptable here and what isn't, and the opportunity around each one. And that's what makes it specific to athlete brands.
What are the kind of differences, without naming the clubs? What are the kind of differences, the pros and cons that you would face going into these kind of clubs? We
don't deal with the clubs directly, right? We deal with the players. But I understand the mentality or the doubts that every player would have coming from a specific club. A lot of players are concerned and worried about posting anything but football because they don't want management to look at them and think that they're not focused. And a lot of club managements don't want their players to post, or didn't in the past. Things have changed now.
Right.
And because almost nobody was posting back in the day, players were mainly influenced by their peers, by other players. And they cared about what other players thought. So that was actually the biggest challenge, getting them to see past that and past impressing the 26 players times 14 clubs, because that number does not matter. Next to any number of real followers and fans that you can get in this country as an influencer is much bigger than that small circle that they're impacted by.
And how does an athlete become a brand?
Well, like anyone else, you need to start with positioning.
Okay.
What is your positioning? You start with, so we do long discovery sessions with every athlete where we sit and we ask them maybe 100 to 200 questions. We get everything we can out of that. And then we put it together, shortlisted, and then look at what does all this say about this player. We have another session with the player. Of course, this is all industry secrets. You guys get it for free. You're welcome. We sit with the player and we narrow down the different words that represent their personality and their tone of voice, their strengths and their interests. That is what everyone really needs to hone in on, I would say, 3 to 5 words under each one of these categories. And that becomes your brand, that becomes your positioning. Positioning more than anything. An athlete brand is how other people see you, not how you see yourself.
Interesting.
So how other people are going to talk to me about you, whatever they say about you, that is your brand.
Can an introvert be a brand?
What now?
An introvert. So someone that's
introvert. Yeah. Of course. So a lot of people mistake, the ability to become a brand for example, if I'm shy, I can't go out there and I can't talk. I don't need you to speak. I need you to be your authentic self. That's the most important thing here, because a lot of people think if I'm going to be a brand, I have to be something else. I have to change. No, you don't have to change. You just have to take us on that journey with you. If you're shy, I want to know that you're shy.
Yeah.
I want to hear you stutter. I want to hear you make mistakes. I want to see you be human, because it makes you relatable.
Yeah.
But if everyone's going after perfection, no one's going to be an authentic brand.
Correct.
I personally have a serious fear of public speaking. This is big for me, by the way. I'm serious.
They're pretty good from where I'm sitting.
Thank you.
That is pretty good. So what catches your eye? Because you've got the eye for these things. What catches your eye?
So when I started this, I wanted to start working with the older players on the national team to kind of save them from a future of oblivion, like many legends before them. I'm not sure if you know Adnan Al-Talyani from our history. I don't even know when he played. I know he's a legend from the UAE, but what I do know is that he himself was on the cover of a magazine and said, "Football stole my future."
Wow, that's quite powerful.
Right. He didn't get to focus on anything else. He didn't get to build value, add value, to be worth something when he left. So when you have legends that leave and, so shameful. You look at what legends in Italy do.
Yeah.
They're massive, they're gods to us here.
Yeah.
But our own players to become nobodies. And I wanted to save our national team boys from that. And then I realized that a lot of the older players are stuck in their ways. And not to say that we spoiled them.
Right. Okay.
So it's not on them.
Yeah.
I really take offense to people thinking, these players have too much money and they don't. I take offense to that because it's not their fault.
Right.
They've been put into an environment where we made a lot of them feel like, Anta Sheikh, you're a sheikh because you play for our national team. Calm down, honey. Nobody's that big.
Yeah.
So when I realized they were just stuck in their ways, it was hard for them to change things up. It was all way too new for them. That it took a few years for them to eventually come back to me and say, well, I want it now.
Okay.
Yeah. But after working with them in the beginning, I realized that the players that I really wanted to work with were just the hungry ones. All I care about is hunger.
Yeah.
If you're hungry enough, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a starting player, bench player, if you sit behind the bench, or if your name's not on that call sheet at all, then I will work with you and I will do everything I can to help you at least create impact in your own community, create value for your own community. Becoming an athlete brand doesn't mean I'm promising anyone fame, because fame can be a million things.
And
it's not the number of followers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. It could be a moment. You need like a fluke, a moment, and then you go viral. But that's not what matters, and that's not what lasts.
Is there anyone now from the old generation that maybe missed out on that time? Like off the top of the head, I'll give you an example, okay? Ian Wright, Arsenal, used to play for Arsenal before social media, way before social media, okay? And Adidas brought him back recently, and he's like unks now, like uncle. He's like unks now. So every time I see Ian Wright doing an Adidas campaign with the new generation, there's this feeling of like he's almost taking them under his wing, even though he's in a new world.
Right.
Is there room for that in the region?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is.
Okay.
And Adidas just did a very similar thing with Sami Al Jabr. He just signed for Adidas, and he's the Saudi legend.
Yeah.
And that was a big surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, you sit and talk to Sami, and he's just perfect for the brand. He's just as hungry. He's a role model. He's exactly the kind of person that should be representing other young athletes and leading the way.
And he's been to World Cups, and he's been to England, and he's played for Wolves. I got a question here for you as well from Davis. How do you manage the emotions of the person while selling them as a brand? Since most of the time as a product we can market anything since they don't have emotions. That's a good question.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, so how do you manage the emotions of the person while selling them as a brand? So the challenges that you have to try and make sure emotionally they're on point?
Well, I have a lot of one-on-one talks with the players, and most of the clients are Ghose Concept athletes.
Yeah,
we're very close, so it's a Ghose family, and we simply keep it real.
Nice.
And I tell them what they don't like to hear. I tell them how it really is.
Okay.
And I do that from the first session with everyone.
I can see you doing that though.
Right.
I can see you doing that. Masoud is also tuned in from India, and he's saying, when you go through different challenges, of course, there's a lot of pressures. How do you balance and enhance your mental health? It's a good question, Masoud.
I don't take care of myself, Masoud. So that's
she
a
looks
good
after
question.
everyone else. That's the problem.
And that's what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
But it does get to me. It can be a lot, especially because I have to become almost an emotional sponge. Of course, every player has their own like account manager, and I have the teams. They take care of everyone. But then when it comes to those heavy talks, setting them on the right track, flagging something that's a definite don't,
yes,
that cannot happen again.
Yes,
that's all me.
Okay.
And then dealing with their emotions and how they take it, and egos as well.
Oh, well,
the
listen.
male ego.
Hey, listen, those males, Okay, we're going to get to know her a little bit better straight after the break. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll see you. Here's some Ray, Mr. Easy.
Oh, he loves the fire, and what a goal!
This is the halftime show with Omar Al on Pulse 95.
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice!
It sure is that time. It's the halftime show with Omar Al. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world. If you're kicking yourself for missing the show, don't worry. You can catch all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, or if you prefer a visual, head over to the YouTube channel. Show some love to Pulse 95 Radio, and we are there. We cover some important topics like mental health, gut health, and how important the brain is on performance and recovery. We also have fantastic guests like that one right here that you can see on the YouTube. Budreya Faisal's in the building.
Hey.
And you know what time it is. When it comes down to this time, it is the fire round.
What?
Yes, I wasn't joking, Lil John. It is the fire round.
What?
Yes, it is. And not only that, DJ, do you know what time it is?
Another one.
It is another one. And that times when it is another one, you get excited and everyone gets to know her properly.
Yeah!
I couldn't have said it better, and that's what I'm talking about. And right now, we are going to put her through the fire round. So in this kind of case, we have to kind of switch up the music a little bit.
All right, let's do this.
Just have a little bit of a breath, just take it easy. And then a little bit of storms. You're just in the background. Okay, right. So Budreya, what happens in the fire round is I get to ask you about any topic in the world, players, people, cartoons, favorite cheat meal. I mean, I'm just giving you some hints. And you tell me there's no wrong answers. You can skip. Actually, no, you can't skip. we can dodge a couple of things, but I'll try and be nice. Can't promise. Okay?
What do I have to tell you? Hang on.
I will say a word. You tell me the first thing that comes to your mind or your opinion on it.
All right.
Keep it clean.
Okay, I'll try. No
Okay,
promises.
we're going to start off with a simple one.
Okay.
Role model.
LeBron James.
Ooh, okay. Nike or Adidas?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Captain Majid.
Yassine, my first crush.
Okay, I like it. Favorite athlete?
Zlatan?
Okay. Tech Boogie.
Huh?
Tech Boogie. I got my answer. Shevchenko.
I mean, number one.
Yeah. Favorite cheat meal?
There's too many.
I won't judge you.
There's too many.
I won't judge you.
I mean, probably Indian food.
Okay. Why did a chicken cross the road?
I mean, it's just a typical answer. Is to get to the other side.
Okay. Biggest football rivalry?
AC Milan and Inter Milan for me.
One team you can't stand?
Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of AC Milan back in 2000.
Oh, the Champions League. You still hurting?
I'm still hurting.
Are you still salty?
Even though we got them back.
You did get them back. Are you still salty though?
I am very salty.
Okay. Yeah. Salt or pepper?
Salt.
Okay. Maldini or Baresi?
Maldini.
Okay. Kaká or Pirlo?
Pirlo.
Really?
Yeah, Pirlo, man.
Ronaldinho or Kaka? That's a good one.
Honestly,
think about it. Don't just give me a straight answer.
Honestly, for me, neither.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like Ronaldinho?
I mean, I liked him, but I think I'm very, because I'm in the athlete brand world, I'm very affected by how he has become now.
Okay.
And my current perception of him, that it's kind of ruined, which is unfair, really, because he was incredible, but it's kind of ruined him for me.
Okay, I'll give you that one. All right. Last album you jammed to?
Matchbox 20.
Okay.
Yourself or Someone Like You.
Okay. Best game ever watched live?
Probably AC Milan and somebody, I don't know.
Okay.
Something in San Siro.
Who's going to win the World Cup 2022?
No idea. But I hope Qatar make it as far as they can.
I like that
I just want
answer.
an Arab team to make it as far as possible. Egypt, Qatar, Saudi, anyone who makes it.
Neymar.
I mean, he's
a brand.
Netflix.
Yeah?
Netflix.
What do you think of that, by the way?
I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, you need to watch it. It's only 3 episodes.
I know. But he's also the athlete brand. So I bring him up a lot when I sit with players.
Okay.
He's the athlete brand that resonates a lot with the younger generations now because of his decision to get into gaming and live streaming his gaming e-games. That was a very smart decision.
Okay. Messi or Cristiano? I don't like asking that question. I'm going to ask you anyway.
I mean, Messi's talent, but not his personality.
Okay, so you see that.
I mean, he's not putting anything out there.
Okay.
He's not giving me anything.
Does he have
but
to?
His talent is enough. It's crazy. He's the only anomaly that I could share all the best practices, international best practice, and Messi's the only one that will have an action football photo with more likes in his top 9. No one else will have an action football photo with as many likes as Messi.
Okay. If you could sit around the table, you could pick any 2 athletes.
LeBron James and Zlatan.
Okay. I was going to say dead or alive, but you picked them quick.
LeBron James and Zlatan.
You're not wasting time here. I like it. Okay. Last but not least, I was being nice to you today. I wasn't going to dig up any dirt or anything like that. We'll do that off air. Your experience on the halftime show?
Well, no, it's amazing. I'm excited, man. This is inspiring.
Your check's in the post. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we will get back to us straight after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. See you in a bit.
Oh, he loves the fire and what a goal!
This is the halftime show with Omar Al on Pulse 95.
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice! Wonderful!
I knew you're going to like this.
You know me like this.
Right?
Yeah.
We're seeing that we're closing the show. We thought we'd vibe out. And but you've been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming down. We had a lot of fun here.
Absolutely.
Before I let you go, where can we follow you?
On Instagram at Budreya, and more importantly at Ghose_Concept.
Love it. Anything coming up or anything on the pipeline? Are you cooking? You're always cooking. I know you're cooking.
I'm always cooking.
Tell me what's cooking.
Not food, but you know. Well, we are changing our business model.
Okay.
And we're no longer going to be focused on the social media management of athletes. Instead, our focus is going to shift towards short form video content production around the sports industry to service anyone wanting to connect to Arab football culture, organizations, players, brands, and to create solutions for everyone using the players, making them the center of every story and every solution we put forward to companies, brands, and organizations.
That is on point. I'm looking forward to that. Would you come on and do a remix with me and then tell me how amazing you're doing in a short period of time?
100%.
Okay, guys, see? She said she's coming back.
I did.
Thank you so much for coming. It was so much fun having you down.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And remember, guys, you can catch our show every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 3 to 4 UAE time. And if you do like the show, you can always catch the podcast as well on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, or head over to the YouTube channel, which her episode will be out very, very soon, may I say. And you can type in Pulse 95 Radio and you will see her on the show. It's going to be called Budreya Faisal on Brand Development. Watch out for that. And that is us, and it's full time on the halftime show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Budreya, thank you very much.